But the sheep doesn't want to. It's not a matter of what the sheep wants to, it's that she needs it. Huh? No, the sheep over there. You're he. If I say he needs it, that means that you want me to do this? I know you do. That's exactly what happens when another sheep is having those symptoms. Head body. Number 3, excessive hopping or jumping. I'm not going to put you to jump. You make me see it. Excessive hopping or jumping. You don't see a sheep hopping or jumping as part of their normal behavior. When they start jumping, hopping, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. So what does the shepherd do? He brings the sheep close to him and examines what's causing. And there's a bacteria that causes pain in their legs. And the only way that they can try to alleviate the pain is by jumping or hopping. There are 3 important elements about this. What does that mean for us at church? I told you that when someone wants to isolate from the congregation, there's something bothering him or her. And we have a responsibility to keep an eye out and find out what's causing my sister or my brother from pulling away from everybody else. Number 2, what's the equivalent of headbutting or head rubbing in our context today? Let me tell you what happened. There's a word for that. We start talking about what's happening to my left and to my right, when I should be talking about what's happening, what he is doing in our midst. When our conversation becomes too lateral, we start looking, our scoping is to our latitude instead of our altitude. There's something wrong. When we begin, let's have this conversation over coffee. Let's go to Starbucks. I love Starbucks. I love their Frappuccino. Not me. I'm just role-playing here. Oh, no. But I got to call you from a different phone because I can't have this conversation on the business phone. I think they record the phone calls. So they call you. Or let me call you after 9 p.m. when my minutes don't count. Let me text you. And you begin thumbing. When you start rubbing, listen to this. When you start rubbing wrong knowledge and wrong information with someone else, that's the equivalent of someone lays something in your ears that you can't hear God's word, but you're hearing everything else. And what we communicate can't come from above. So what happens? We contaminate someone else with the knowledge that we know it's wrong. But that's how I was told. That's how they told me. That's how I heard it. If you heard it, doesn't mean you need to say it forward. Excessive jumping and hopping. I call them church hoppers. That's the equivalent to our days. We don't want to be held accountable, Pastor Dave. We're church hopping. I don't like it here. No, the time for that service is not conducive to my liking. I know somewhere else where I can go is more appropriate. Until something happens over there. And we start going somewhere else. And all of a sudden, we have made ourselves a cocktail of Pentecostal or charismatic churches. And you notice that people say, oh yeah, that was my church. Oh yeah, that was my church. That was my family. No, can't do that. Psalm 1 says, blessed is the man who has not walked or has been in the counsel of the wicked. Do I need to read that out loud? But it's like a tree planted. Planted. Not transplanted. Planted. It means that it has roots. It means that it's been through a process. It means that it's found its fertile soil. You can't be replanting plants every now and then. They'll die. They'll die. Plants are to be planted, and you only replant them as part of their growth process. But once a plant is ready to be planted permanently, you don't grab a tree from these and replant them unless it's extremely necessary. The plants are meant to stay where they are. So if the psalmist says, we have been planted by Him, I got to stay there. I don't think you like that. Let me move on. So when I allow the oil to reach my nostrils and my ears, I may not like it. I may not like the strong sense of the oil, but I need it because I need healing in my life. I need to hear the right words. I need to hear words that are going to draw me closer to God. I need to see what God wants me to see. And that which I cannot explain, I need to leave it up to God. Now, you have anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. What does that mean? Have you ever gone to someone, or you ever asked for a glass of water? Or you've been invited to a house to have dinner or lunch or anything, and they serve you half a glass of beverage. You may interpret that in many ways. You may say, well, they might not have enough for everybody, so they give it limited portions. Number one. Number two, you may say, maybe she don't like me or he don't like me anymore. Number three, it might not taste very good if they're not giving a lot. But the psalmist says, you anoint my head with oil. You give me fragrance. You give me belonging. You give me welcoming. You heal me. But on top of that, you fill my cup to the point that it overflows. What does that mean? That means that when God gives you what is destined for you, He doesn't measure it. He gives it to you in such a way that it spills over. Why? Because the spilling over, the overflowing, is an action that conveys, I have more than plenty for you. And it tastes good because you're going to want more. It also says, you are welcome. You are welcome here. My cup runneth over. Some translation says, my cup overflows. My cup spilling. Why? Because God's blessings upon our lives, if He pours my cup, and if it overflows, and it wets my hand, it's a symbol. It's a symbol that His blessing should not be contained to any type of recipient. It will not be contained by a cup. It will not be contained by a jar. But He wants His blessings to run all over me and cover me. Now, I need to finish up because the attributes of the oil. It gives a unique fragrance. It's a healing agent. It's a symbol of welcome and belonging. And here's where he concludes.